Overflows.
Thought, a process, be aware of it. Thought is a continuous process taking place within us, uninterrupted. Unaware of this process leads to chaos, whereas the moment you are aware of this process, a miracle happens and you transcend beyond the mind. This going beyond the mind helps in the process of transformation. Let me explain this process. Gurdjieff used to say that man is just like a palace where there are so many slaves guarding the palace and taking care of it. But the master has gone out, and he has been out for such a long time that the slaves have now completely forgotten that there was a master. Now, whenever someone passes by the palace, and it is such a beautiful palace that everyone wants to inquire to whom it belongs. So any slave who happens to be at the door as a security guard says, it belongs to me. I am the master. But another time, the same person passes by, someone else is there at the door as a guard, and he asks to whom this palace belongs. He says, the guard at the duty says, it belongs to me. I am the master. So the whole city is confused. Who is really the master? Everyone says, I am the master. Every slave. Every thought that passes, even on your surface mind, becomes the master. And the master is either asleep or has gone for a long journey and has not yet returned. And this has been so long. Gurdjieff used to say, such is the condition of man, each one of us. That is why we have no will. We cannot have a will if we are just a crowd. You decide to do something, and the second moment you decide not to do it. And the third moment comes, neither you are decisive to do it, nor you are not to do it. You are simply indecisive. You decide that you are going to be awake in the morning at 4 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock you yourself say, there is no need to wake up at 4. Another slave is on the surface mind, not you, and the same one is not here who had decided. Now in the morning when you are awake at 8 o'clock, you begin to repent. Why, when I had decided, I could not get up? Why? This is the third slave. And these three will never meet one another. There is no dialogue. Why I decided in the first place to wake up at 4 o'clock? Why I did not wake up at 4 o'clock saying that there is no need? And why did I have to repent? And any atomic thought on the surface becomes the master. You cannot have the will. Really, you cannot have any soul. You are not as yet an individual. You must know the meaning of the word individual. The word is beautiful. It means individual. So the word individual means indivisible. that which cannot be divided. But we exist in divisions. We cannot be, so we cannot be said to be individuals. That which cannot be divided. We are just a divided crowd. Yoga is the science of individual, the process to bring everything together. Individuation. It is how to create the individual, how to crystallize this crowd into one, and how to create a center which can be the master always, and how to put every slave in its place. This is the entire process of yoga. Then you will need a purification of your mind. You will need a catharsis. A deep catharsis is needed then. You have to throw out all that is just contradictory, and each one of us has a lot of things contradictory within. You have to create a harmony in your thoughts and do not allow any thought to come in, because to allow it to be in is easy. Because to allow it to be in is easy, but then to displace it from there is difficult. A thought is such an obstinate that once you allow it to come in, it tries to become the master, and then it is very difficult for you to displace him or send it out. So the first thing is, do not allow inside thoughts which are not going to help to create a harmony. But we entertain, we allow anything as if that your mind has become a public place, a public restroom where you allow anyone to come in. So the first thing is, do not allow inside thoughts which are not going to help you to create a harmony, and then go on searching for and observing what contradictory thoughts you have. Be the chosen. Emphasize the thoughts which can create an inner peace and inner harmony. Then you have a purified mental body. And with this body transparent, you can look beyond and you can go to another body. Move. This is the process of transcendences. Beyond the mind body is the fourth body. I'm talking about the body. The fourth body is known as conscious body, the Vijnanmaya Kosh. It will be difficult, a bit difficult, to distinguish between mental body and conscious body, because we do not know any consciousness except the mind. We have no idea what consciousness is. We know only the mind. But if the mind is purified, then you become simply aware that something else is still beyond the mind. And the mind becomes a door, but we can understand. You have thoughts, that is one thing. But you can be aware of your thoughts, and this awareness is not a thought. You have many thoughts going on within. You can be aware of it. But this awareness of a particular thought or set of thoughts is not a thought at all. You have anger, for instance. Anger is a thought process. Indeed, anger is a thought process. You can be aware of it. Now in me is running a thought process, a combination of thoughts which becomes or is known as anger or jealousy or love. When there is an anger, that means there is a set of thoughts going on in your mind. So is the case with jealousy, so is the case with love. You can be aware. You can stand out of it and be aware that this is anger. You can be aware this is a thought, this awareness that this is thought, this observation, this possibility to observe the thought process creates the fourth body. So everyone does not have the fourth body really developed, but only as a potentiality, only as a possibility. So the process of transformation is to develop this potentiality in you. When you become aware of your mind, only then you have the fourth body, and then there is a growth. Sometimes we have glimpses. Sometimes we become aware in the moment of a sudden danger, in accidents, in encountering a situation we have not faced before. We become aware because for the first time the mind is in a shock of the accident or of the dangerous situation, and in that shock mind ceases to function. For example, if someone suddenly throws a dagger at you, the mind will stop because there is nothing to do now or think. There is no time. Thought will stop. And when thought stops, you become aware. You become aware that thought has stopped. Only you become aware that thought has stopped. But still there is consciousness. I am conscious. This is the fourth body, the consciousness body. Our conscious body, we have it, but it is a very undeveloped and underdeveloped process. To develop it is arduous because it needs much effort to remain conscious of every thought that passes through the mind, of every thought that has become an accumulation in your mind, a part of your mind, all the conditionings of the mind. To become aware of them is really arduous. It is difficult, but not impossible. And only when this becomes possible, you have the dignity of being called a human being. Otherwise not. Because an unconscious human being remains nothing. Then you are just being thrown from where? Then you are just thrown from here, and there will be impressions and influences from outside. How many influences you have on you from outside? When you become conscious, then you cannot be influenced by anyone. For the first time, you become a chooser, you become individual, and then a new process begins, the process of transformation of consciousness. And this is the process that ultimately leads to awakening or enlightenment.